Good evening, and welcome back to Mo's show. Today, March the 3rd or the 4th, one of those days, 2019. And I want to talk about socialism. I want to talk about socialism, and then I want to connect some dots. So, this might verge on conspiracy, but I want to lay out an argument. I want you to think for yourself and go research these topics and see whether what I say makes sense to you. So let's talk about socialism. Unfortunately, I've been watching a lot of Fox News, and there's been a lot of talk about socialism. Kamala Harris, Medicare for all, free college for all. Bernie Sanders, Medicare for all. Now, first and foremost, free college education for all is not socialism. Healthcare for all is not socialism. What socialism is, the definition of socialism, and this might not be word for word per the various sources such as Wikipedia, Webster, and so forth. But socialism is essentially a system of governance in which the government controls the means of production. What does that mean? The best way to understand that is to compare it to capitalism, in which private individuals control the means of production. That is true capitalism. What is practiced in America, what is practiced in the West, is not true capitalism. As I stated in a prior video, no nation has ever practiced true capitalism. The reason I say it's not true capitalism, because in a capitalist system, the best product wins. In the American system, the most hyped product wins. So if this was a true capitalist society, Apple would have won out over Microsoft. If this was a true capitalist society, something such as my SQL database would have won over Oracle. If this was a true capitalist society, Volvos, Hondas, Toyotas, Subarus would be better selling vehicles than Mercedes-Benz or BMW. So, because of marketing, which assures that the most hyped product wins out, you can't say it's true capitalism. In a true capitalist society, all individuals start off at the same level. So in a true capitalist society, you don't have rich kids. Because in a true capitalist society, you'd have 100% wealth tax. So all the money I accumulate in my lifetime, I can't pass on to my kids because they have to start from scratch. If I pass my money on to them, they have an advantage. In a true capitalist society, a white man does not have an advantage over a black man. In a true capitalist society, a man does not have an advantage over a woman. So don't be fooled. America is not a capitalist society. There is no capitalist society on the planet. However, for the most part, the individual owns the means of production. There's a very significant element to that, and that is that America is probably the only country where you can start off from nothing and wind up on top. And there are numerous examples. Sam Walton started Walmart, started off with nothing, a tiny little store. Now look at Walmart. Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Michael Dell. There are so many examples of individuals that started with nothing and were able to amass fortunes. That's the beauty of capitalism. However, capitalism favors those who have confidence in themselves, those who believe in themselves, and those who are willing to work hard to earn their success. Capitalism does not favor the lazy, it does not favor the entitled, it does not favor those who don't think for themselves. Those are the followers, those are the status quo people, those are the get along people, those are the conformist people, those are the comparative people. Capitalism does not favor them. So, what happens in a capitalist society? You'll have a young black man decides, I want to be a doctor one day. And it makes this decision when he's 14, 15 years old, a junior, sophomore in high school. So this young black man goes out there, does his research. What does it take to be a doctor? Speaks to some doctors, speaks to some college students, speaks to his teachers. You got to study hard, you got to work hard, you got to get good grades, blah, 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 blah. It's going to take this long. That young black man at 15 dedicates himself to being a doctor. 10 years later, he's making $500,000. You can have an Asian girl, 16 years old. She decides, I don't want to work for someone the rest of my life. I want to start my own business. But what kind of business? So at 16, she starts to do research. She's going to college, so she realizes, let me understand the fundamentals of business so when I start my business, I'm successful. So she takes marketing, finance, operations, accounting, and so forth. When she graduates college, throughout college, she's been working hard saving up her money. When she graduates college, she uses a little money that she saved up to start her business. Or, while her business is still getting off the ground, she gets a job to support herself, but the majority of the money that she makes from working goes into her business. 10 years later, this 30-year-old Asian girl is a millionaire. That's capitalism. When you have lazy people, when you have people that feel they're entitled, when you have people that don't want to apply themselves, that don't think for themselves, that do what everyone else is doing, they fall into a mode. What happens is these people that fall into the mode, these people that go to college to party and not get an education, these people that would rather hang out all day rather than advance themselves, when they fall into a mode, they see those who apply themselves rising. Now, these people, the lazy people, as I've seen, are full of themselves. Mommy told them they're special, daddy told them they're special, I don't fucking know. But they're full of themselves. So they think they deserve to succeed without applying yourself. They'll watch LeBron James making, $20 million a year, living in this big house, driving his nice cars. And they'll say, I should be like that. But they don't know the work and the effort that LeBron put in to get to where he is. They assume, since mommy told me I'm special, I deserve to succeed. No, motherfucker, you earn your success. What's happening now in this country is you have the majority of the country are these lazy motherfuckers, these entitled motherfuckers. And they feel the world owes them something. They feel that the sun rises for them. And so these are the people who would benefit from socialism. Because what socialism would do is put a cap on achievement. So if you're a hard charger, if you like to work hard, you like to apply yourself, you set goals and strive for them, you're not going to do well in a socialist environment, because a socialist environment is going to pull you down so you can maintain the status quo. In a socialist environment, individual achievement is not rewarded, but is frowned upon. You're trying to be different than the rest. You think you're better than the rest. You're trying to be special. But the amount of time that a Jeff Bezos put in, the amount of time that a Michael Jordan put in, the amount of time that a Russell Wilson put in to be as good as they are, to succeed as they did, that's a sacrifice they made. But in a socialist society, that is not rewarded. So, in a socialist society, you start dealing with things like the gender income gap. What is the gender income gap? They say, well, women make 70 cents to every dollar that a man makes. But is that so? I recommend you go to the bls.gov, Bureau of Labor Statistics. On that site, they break down by every occupation the number of women, the number of men, the level of education, the age, and then they allocate the income. So if you look at civil engineers, it will tell you what male civil engineers make, what female civil engineers make. If you look at neurosurgeons, it will tell you what male neurosurgeons make and what female neurosurgeons make. When you look at this data, there is zero discrepancy between the wages of men and women for the same occupation, the same education level, and the same experience level. Where this wage differential comes from is they take all the women who are working and get their average salary. And they take all the men who are working and get their average salary. And they compare the two. What they don't tell you is that the majority of women go into low income jobs. The majority of men go into high income jobs. The men are the doctors, the engineers, the lawyers, the pharmacologists. The women are the teachers, the social workers, the psychologists. These are the low-paying jobs. And it is because of that when you average it, women make less than men. A simple remedy, women start pursuing high-paying jobs. Stop going about what makes you feel good or what you're told a woman's career should be. Fuck that. If you want to make money, go for high-paying jobs. Now, so we've determined that socialism rewards the lazy. Healthcare for all is not socialism because the government, per the Constitution, is mandated to look out for the welfare and well-being of the citizens. Part of that is ensuring you have a healthy citizenry. So denying some people access to health care is the government not doing its job. The problem with healthcare is cost. If you reduce cost, you impose tighter regulation on the insurance industry, you don't have to worry about Medicare for all. Not at all. The cost of healthcare in the US is about $3 trillion. It could easily, with proper leadership at the top, it could easily be cut down to $1 trillion, if not 700 billion. Easily. At that level, it becomes more accessible. Education is actually an investment in the nation. It's not socialism. Education is an investment in the nation. If I owned a nation and I had 1,000 people in my nation, I'd rather, and I tax those people, I would rather that those 1,000 people make an average of $50 a year, $50,000 a year. That gives me a tax base of 50 million a year. If I'm extracting, let's just say 10% taxes a year, that's $5 million a year I get in tax revenue. If, on the other hand, I have an uneducated labor force and they only make 20,000 a year, that means I only have 20 million to tax. The same 10%, I only get 2 million. So there's a differential of 3 million just based on having an educated workforce. Let's assume it costs me 1 million a year to provide free college education. I'm making my money back plus a profit. In addition, an educated workforce makes a nation more competitive on a global scale. If you have a bunch of high school graduates, they're not going to be engineers, they're not going to be investment bankers, they're not going to be accountants, they're not going to be excellent marketers. So the economy as a whole will suffer. And as a result, you'll have to import a lot more, which means your nation now becomes dependent on other nations with a much higher educated workforce. So this nonsense of, no free college education, all that really is rich people want to preserve access to themselves. They don't want other people to have access. And the reason for that is because most rich people are pieces of shit. Most rich people are insecure. Most rich people know they got there through unscrupulous means. So their biggest fear is to have a level playing field, just like white men. White men know that they are where they are because of that unfair advantage they've had throughout their life. That's why they fight so vehemently against affirmative action or other programs that would equalize the playing field, because white men cannot compete. So, healthcare, education, that's not socialism. However, there is a push in this country towards socialism. And I'll make this prediction right now, and you'll understand why I'm making this prediction. I predict March 3rd, 2019, Mo, predict that Bernie Sanders will be the next president. January 21st or 20th, 2021, Bernie Sanders will be sworn in as the next president of the United States of America. Either Trump's going to get impeached or he won't win against Bernie. So I'm telling you right now, Bernie is your next president. I'm also telling you this. Come 2021, America is going to start making this huge push towards socialism. You're going to see a lot of different things. You'll see the minimum wage go up to at least, this is the federal minimum wage, will go up to at least $10 or $12 in 2021. You're going to see increased pressure put on the wages of the high earners to bring them down to equalize the wages of the lower earners. Now, I'm not talking about someone working in a warehouse making $10, $12 an hour. I'm talking about college graduates. I get my degree in engineering, you get your degree in sociology. You're making $30,000 a year, I'm making $60,000 a year. Something will be done to bring my salary down and bring your salary up. My guess is going to be tax policy. They're going to implement tax policy to equalize incomes across the nation. Why is that? For a long time, now I'm a student of history. I'm a student of history because a wise man once said, the future is simply the past coming in through another gate. The things you see happening today, tomorrow, the day after, if you study history, you can see similar patterns. If you look at World War I, there's a pattern there. You look at World War II, there's a pattern there. Vietnam, Korea, there's a pattern there. There's always a pattern. The rise and the fall of civilizations always follow a pattern. It don't matter which civilization. It could be the British Empire, which rose in the late 1600s and fell in 1945, giving way to the American Empire, which too shall fall, quite likely before 2050. That's my other prediction. By 2050, the U.S. will be a second or third world nation. Just the way things go. So when you look at these patterns, there's several things I want you to take note of. First of all, around 2000 and picking up 2006, 2007, and really catching on steam after 2008. Homosexuality became the norm. Homosexuality became the norm. I do not favor homosexuals. I do not like homosexuals. I don't want to associate with homosexuals. I don't want them around me. I think of them lower than I think of a fucking cockroach that I step under my heel. Because their lifestyle, their mentality, their attitude is garbage to me. When I say homosexuals, I mean all homosexuals. The ones who are exclusively with men, the ones who are with men once a week, once a month, once a year, the ones who are bisexual, the ones who look at men and get attracted to other men, the ones who follow other men around like stupid little stray dogs, those are all faggots to me. Now in 2000, 2005, 2007, I could come out and express my opposition to homosexuality. You can't do that anymore. I've been kicked out of Panera Bread. I got banned from Gold's Gym, all right? Because I had these faggots follow me around, and instead of beating the shit out of them, I told them, get the fuck away from me, faggot. No, that's a hate crime now. Calling someone a faggot is a hate crime. I could call you a nigger, I could call you a cracker, I could call you a wetback. I could call you a chink. That ain't shit. But I call you a faggot, something different. Why? Well, what are men known for? Men are known for having confidence, having drive, having goals and going after them, achieving things, overcoming odds, pushing yourself. That's what men are known for. Homosexuals are feminine men, so they have feminine attributes. So the characteristics that you'd normally associate with a man are lacking in a homosexual. What's the significance for that? If I'm going to implement socialism, then I want to take that drive out of you. Because when I take that drive out of you and I eliminate opportunities to apply that drive, that energy, I don't have to worry about you complaining because you don't have that drive anymore. You just want to be a little piece of shit that hangs out, goes to Starbucks and drinks coffee all day with your little shit ass friends, waste your time playing video games, getting on Facebook. Your life ain't shit. That's a perfect candidate for a socialist state. Social media. What has social media really done to America? If you're addicted to social media, if you find value in that shit and you spend time on it, you can't really tell its impact. But if you're not consumed with social media, if you don't spend your whole day texting, if the focus of your life is to accomplish something, to advance yourself, then you can start to look around you and you can see the impact social media has had on society. America is deranged, and they don't even fucking realize it. America is deranged. All these people consumed by social media, by video games, they're garbage. They have no skills, they have no talents, they have no ambition, they have no drive. It's like being hooked on heroin. I smoke weed, I have smoked weed, I tried acid once. I sold crack when I was young. Sports took me away from that. I saw what crack did to people, and I'm glad I didn't sell it anymore. I've seen what heroin does to people. So these fiends, heroin, crack, they live for their high. That's the whole purpose of their life, to get that high. Their life has no other purpose. These social media, video game, time wasting idiots, they live to waste time. If you ask them at the end of a week, what did you accomplish this week? That's all we're doing, wasting time. Those are perfect candidates for a social state, for a socialist state. Because these are people who want to be taken care of. They can't think for themselves, they can't act for themselves. They need to be told how to think, how to dress, how to walk, how to talk. They're idiots. They're zombies. They're better off dead. The world is better off without them. They contribute nothing to the world. So when I saw this social media hype, and now most VCs are funding social media outfits, and I was asking myself, what gives? What is the economic value add for social media? If you start a company and you make shovels, and you kind of shovel, maybe, I don't know, you stick the shovel in the ground and it has some teeth that dig in and scoop up the dirt, and you just flip it. So you ain't got to, the teeth just do that for you. Flip it. Your product has an economic value add. I could dig trenches faster. If I could dig trenches faster, I could lay that pipe faster. If I could lay that pipe faster, you can have water in your house faster. That's economic value add. What the fuck does Facebook add to the economy? What value does it add? What value does Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, what value do they add to the economy? Zero. But the money was pouring in, and I didn't understand. But now I do. By indoctrinating people, by consuming people with social media, they have created the dumbest fucking Americans on this planet. They talk a lot about millennials. Millennials this, millennials this, millennials that. But you know what? I don't even know what the fuck a millennial is. All this generation X, Y, Z, X, fuck all that shit. Okay? Because within every generation, you're gonna find your lazy people. You're gonna find your hardworking people. You're gonna find your entitled people. So as much shit as they talk about this millennial generation, I am quite certain that out of that millennial generation, and even within that millennial generation, whoever the fuck they are, you have some exceptional people. You have some hardworking people. You have some diligent people. And you'll see them succeed. And then 10, 15 years from now, they'll say, oh, we're wrong about millennials. It's bullshit. It's pop science. It's not science. It has no basis in reality. The traits that you find in millennials, you'll find in all generations. The one and only purpose, job of any generation is to leave for the next generation a better world than what we found it. When those 5-year-old kids come up of age, they should have something that's better than when I was 5 years old. Fuck this, that. That's the only purpose of any generation. Entitled people. Who are entitled people? Well, you have these little nerds whose mommy told them they were special. They can't do a fucking thing. If someone didn't teach them how to piss, they wouldn't know how to piss. If someone didn't tell them you put a dick in a pussy, they won't know what to do with their dicks. They'll probably stick it in a girl's ear. Alright? They're dumb as shit. Mommy and daddy told them they're special. So they think they're special just because they're born. They're nothing. You have the tall motherfuckers. I'm the big tall motherfucker, so I'm the bad motherfucker. I'm special. Fuck a tall motherfucker. I beat the shit out of so many tall motherfuckers. Fuck a tall motherfucker. You have the little rich motherfuckers. Born into money. Oh, mommy have money, daddy have money, so I must be special. You ain't shit, bitch. What I found is most rich kids are dumb as fucking hell. Look at Trump. And look at Trump's kids. They're dumb as fucking hell. And the daughters of most rich men are ugly as shit. So you have all these entitled people. But this entitlement thing was created. It was created through the media, through social media, by prioritizing certain traits. And then when you see those traits displayed in the media and you can relate to those traits, you feel you're special. Nah. Just because LeBron is 6'6" and he could ball like shit, and you're 6'6", does not mean that you could ball like LeBron, because that nigga been playing ball since he was probably 5 fucking years old. I've been playing sports since I was 6 years old. I have greater probability of comparing myself to LeBron, having played all the way through college, than some little shit tall motherfucker who don't even know how to dribble a fucking ball. But, oh, LeBron is tall, I'm tall. Nah, motherfucker, you earned that shit. So they promoted this entitlement mentality amongst these little pieces of shit. And now you have a lot of little pieces of shit who are lazy as a motherfucker, don't want to apply themselves, but think they should get shit. And then you had this bullshit, kids' sports. I got a little niece. She called me up, said, "Hey, uncle, I'm having a soccer game. I want you to come watch," because she knew I played in high school and college. She wanted to impress me. I said, "Sure, I'll be there." I got there. I said, "What the fuck? Are they playing to win? Or are they just playing just to kick the ball around? I mean, what the fuck? Is this a competition?" But that's the mentality now. That kids go out there to play, and even if you lose, you get a trophy. What the fuck? So that's taking away their drive. That's taking away their drive. Trying to equalize men and women. Okay? I love women. I respect women. I have 4 sisters. That's all I got, sisters. And all my sisters are intelligent. All my sisters have graduate degrees. They're ambitious. They have drive. They don't need a man to be pulled down so they can compete. They compete on their own. Men and women are different. Women naturally have a higher body fat percentage than men because women's bodies are designed to bear and rear children and nurse those children. Men's bodies are not. In a man's body, the predominant hormone is testosterone. In a woman's body, the 2 key hormones are progesterone, which is designed to maintain a pregnancy, and estrogen, which gives you titties, hips, and all that shit. And makes you think like a woman and act like a woman. There's a reason for differences. It maintains balance in nature. Men do certain things, women do certain things. This notion that men and women are the same is bullshit. We're equal, but we are not the same. However, to push socialism, it is critical. It is critical to eliminate any differentials. Thus, this massive drive to equalize men and women. And in order to do that, they had to pull men down and artificially inflate women. All this faggot shit, transvestites, transsexuals, bisexuals, blah, 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 is to make everyone equal. The whole objective is to equalize everything. Once everything is equalized, then you can bring in a socialist system and people will accept it. But more importantly, you have to set the stage. And for a long time, I wondered, why did the powers that be allow Trump to become president? My money was on Hillary. Not that I like the woman. Her husband put more black men in jail than any other individual in modern history. Bill Clinton. 3 strikes, you out. Thanks, Bill. I know a lot of niggas are serving a long sentence because of you. And I'm sure they thank you every fucking day. They put Trump in such that Americans would be so fucking disgusted that they would look for anything that was a complete and utter opposite of Trump. And that is Bernie Sanders. And Bernie Sanders is a socialist. It's been played out. It's been laid out. climate change. I'm not a climatologist, but there's a very, very simple solution for climate change. Fuck this Paris climate talks, whatever, fuck this carbon taxes. Plant more fucking trees. If carbon dioxide is your problem, you want to get it out of the atmosphere, plant more fucking trees. And poof, there goes your carbon dioxide. The money it would take to plant trees around the world, to reclaim deserts, to deploy desalination plants in areas like the Mideast and even the Sahara. You have all that water. Throw desalination plants over there. Pull in that seawater. Clean it up. Pipe it. Irrigation down in the Sahara. Take off that sand. Drop topsoil. The Mideast. The Middle East. But they talk about this 7 billion people in the world, and the world is overpopulated and we don't have enough space. Bullshit, my nigga. You look at the US, the Dakotas, Montana, Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota, sparsely populated. You go to any state, the population is concentrated in the urban area, but the suburbs, the rural areas, are sparsely populated. If people like to live in the cities and you want somewhere for people to live, develop the rural areas. Then people will go live there. Overpopulation is not a problem. Climate change is not a problem. These are simply excuses to control the population. See, I've always wondered, what made some motherfucker wake up and say, I'm gonna be king of all you bitches? I'm your king now, motherfucker. You call me your majesty. You call me your highness. When you see me, get on your fucking knees and say, yes, your majesty. If you don't do that shit, I'ma chop your fucking head off, motherfucker. What made some motherfucker say that? And people just say, okay, king. Okay, king. Okay, king. We got Donald Duck for president. And I say, yes, Mr. President. Yes, Mr. President. All these senators, representatives, mayors, governors. What makes those motherfuckers think they could have power over me? I'm probably more intelligent than all of them. But they're going to make laws that I have to follow. See, we got fooled when some idiot said, I'm going to be a ruler. We should have said, fuck you, motherfucker, rule this bullet through your head, motherfucker. Fuck you ruling me, bitch. I could rule my own self. But then they tell us, oh, we got to be a nation. We got to work. Fuck that, nigga. Fuck that. They playing us. They're playing us. And the ultimate play is coming in 2021. Because socialism is the ultimate tool to control the masses. I've seen all the dots. I've laid out all the dots. The push to normalize homosexuality. Social media, and it's turning America into deluded, deranged pieces of shit. The earth is burning up. Climate change. Population control. All these inequalities. Income gap. Wage inequality. Female inequality. Hyped up. Hyped up. The advent of the great and mighty Mr. Donald, Duck, Daffy, Trump, and this big, 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 big brain that might explode one day. Because it's so fucking big, that skull just won't be able to contain it. It might just blow up one day. Motherfucker will be out there giving a speech and I am the greatest fucking president that ever, pop! And his head blows up. Because his brain was too big. All these things are preparing us for the next chapter. And that next chapter is socialism. The sad thing is, that most of the hard-working, intelligent, thinking, driven, ambitious Americans, who are the Americans that made America great and make America great every fucking day, will not be able to survive in that environment because those kind of people need to keep moving, keep going. All right, I got this goal. What's next? I got that. What's next? And a lot of them are going to leave. A lot of them are going to leave America. And what's going to be left in America is a garbage. And when you have nothing but garbage left in America, and you have a socialist state, you're going to see America drop. That's a reality. After Trump, the Americans will want anything but anyone